Teaquilters. Today is Wednesday, November 6, 2019. It is exactly 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're watching this video at any other time, just know it's an upload of a live chat. So I am kind of rushing to get into my room today. Have a lot. I've just been busy. I've had a lot to do. I don't necessarily have a whole lot to talk about per se, but I do have a few things, and I am bumping into my camera, so bear with me here for a second. Get my cell phone back here so I can pull up the chat comments. So we are just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and do the chat box comments. Let me silence this and prevent it from rotating. All right, so we got Vicky Lemire here. She commented first tonight. Hi, Vicky. Welcome to the channel. She's saying hello to everyone. I'm just trying to move some things out of the way that I'm not talking about that I had on my desk. We got Bonita Nance here. She says, hello, Miss T. Welcome back. Thank you so much. We didn't have a live chat last week because I was actually traveling to Houston, so that's why I did not come on Wednesday, and I actually stayed at one of the people that I went to Houston where we stayed with a family member, and so I did not feel comfortable recording in their home, as well as I did not want to ask for the internet code, so I just decided we would wait. We got Vicky Lemire here. She's from Marietta County, Michigan. And she says it's 14 degrees outside. Oh my goodness, that's really, really cold. June Billings says hi, T and everyone. Judy is here. Says hello, everyone. Nice to be here. Diane 57 is here. She says evening to everyone. And Bonita's saying good evening to everyone too. Wind Sprinter's here. Says hello from Maryland. Darlene Former says greetings from Northern Virginia. LC says hello, T and everyone from Southern California. Tiffany is here. She says hi, everyone. Erica is here. She says hi, T and everyone. Hi, Erica. Hi, Tiffany. We got Shakita Pearson. She says hello, everyone. We've got Sonia Jones. She says hi, T and everyone. Leah O'Brien is here. She says hi, T and everyone. Cheryl Abraham is here. Says hello, T and everyone. I don't know why I want to make her Abram. Hi, Cheryl. Janet Mackerel's here. She says good evening to you all. Deborah Richards says hello, hello, hello. Sylvia Henderson is here saying hi, everyone, and T. Sandra Thompson is here. Says hi, T. I missed you in Houston. Ken's Wall of Crafting says hi from Alabama. Hi, Ken. Welcome to Teaquilts. And let's see. Phyllis Gardner is here. She says hi, T and everyone. So, we're going to go over what I did in the past week because that's what I normally do first. And because I was going to Houston, I actually made a few outfits to wear. People that were in Houston have already seen these because I wore them. But I just wanted to share them with you because it's what I did in a week. So I made a couple of shirts. Because I did the YouTube 10,000 subscribers, I decided to celebrate that and try to solicit more viewers while I was in Houston. And then on the back of this, I just have my website. And let me go back to the front. I have read controversial things from website to website regarding whether you can put glitter vinyl on top of plain vinyl. So I decided to go ahead and try it, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just go back and put some plain vinyl on top of this white. So I'm going to wash these, but I wanted to show it to you all in its true fashion before I washed them. I actually had on long sleeve shirts under these shirts. And then I also made one in white. And I also need to modify this pattern because this play button was right over a boob. It was kind of weird. So I may need to redo some planning on that. And then I also have the website on the back of this one as well. And I'm just tossing them on the floor because they're about to go to the laundry. And then with those shirts, I also made pants. These are yoga pants that I also put that same logo on. This is down on the lower part of the leg here. It was a lot easier to do this one. Then when I put it on my sweatpants and I wanted to put it on the mid thigh, it kind of looks like it might be crooked on the pant. But when I actually wear it, it's in the perfect spot. So I actually tried the pants on to know where I wanted it to be placed to make sure that it was straight up when I wore it. So I made those 4 things, 2 outfits, and then I also made this shirt as well. All right. So that's what I made prior to going to Houston. When I came back, I was so excited about being home and being able to go back into my sewing room that I have been seeing people with the badge holders, like when you sign up for classes. And please excuse this, I spilled coffee on my purse and my label was in there, so I have someone at the Guild making me a new one. But I decided to try to make one of these. I did not have a pattern. I did a lot of ripping. I wouldn't recommend doing it the way that I did it. However, I do think that I was successful. This middle part goes all the way to the bottom. So you can actually put long brochures or flyers that people might give you in the long section. And then this part here actually opens up. And if my name badge wasn't on here, I could actually put like my money in here. But my tag is going all the way through. And then this bottom one has the pocket for you to put your name badge for whatever event you're at. And then on the back, I also did the same thing. And I just used some scraps that I had laying around of some boutiques that were out on my desk. And then here's that pocket again where you can go into the pocket. And then here's another one with the clear that you can also use. So it's like 2-sided bag here. And in the middle, I just put my Teaquilts button. But I just pieced, trying to see if I can get this off. I just pieced some scraps that I had to kind of make like a little crazy block or something. But then I put my pen in it. And oh, and I finished the binding on my Christmas quilt. And I have 2 other quilts that I quilted that I need to make labels for. And then I have the binding on them, but I don't have the labels. So I haven't hand sewed the binding to the back. I have the binding on the front. So that's what I did in the past 2 weeks. Other than going to Houston, which I want to thank everybody that came to the meet and greet. I appreciate you taking your time out of the show. And I do know that those that missed it, I appreciate you too as well, because I too know that when you're at a show, you can kind of get busy. So I had to put reminders on my clock on my phone so that it would make some noise so that I wouldn't miss my own meet and greets or other places I needed to be. So I do recognize that we all get busy, get distracted with all the beautiful quilts, with all the beautiful, all the vendor stuff that's out, because it was a lot of vendors. It looked like it was less vendors, but they had more space. So that was kind of different this time. It looked like people bought larger booths than they had in years past. But I really enjoyed Houston Quilt Show. I did do a small amount of recording. I did not do a lot of recording because since I didn't have a vendor badge, I wasn't working with any vendor. So I wasn't able to get into the show early so that I wouldn't have all the people in all the photos. And it was just so jam packed both Friday and Saturday that I just couldn't get good video. So let's see if I can remember off the top of my head. I got the 45th anniversary quilts. I got the Make a Better World quilts. The Eileen Fitzgerald pineapple quilts. And it was one other exhibit I thought I saw blocking what it is. Can't remember. I think I have like 4 exhibits that I got the winter quilts. I went and did the winter quilts. So that's all that I videotaped. So when I get a chance, I'll go ahead and get that video edited. I also made a video for the haul of things that I got from Houston. So let me just go back through the comments and make sure I haven't missed anybody or missed any comments that need to be responded to. Michelle the Quilter says, hi from Central New York. Supposed to snow tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Michelle, to live chat. Ann Macy is here. She says, hello from Portland, Oregon. Hi, Ann. Shakita says, yes, T looked really cute and sharp in her tea gear. I had somebody actually stop me in the show and go, how did you get custom clothing? I go, I made it myself. It was pretty funny. Bonita Nan says, I like the YouTube t-shirts. Love the shirts. Ha 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 about the play button. Yes, indeed. It was so funny. I happened to look down in the show when I said, I think that play button is telling people to push a boob or something. But, yeah. Hindsight. Bonita says, great idea for full ensemble. Deborah says, well, thank goodness you didn't put it on the butt cheek. Some people do put lettering across their butt. My butt's too big for that. Michelle says she loves the bag. And great idea. And then I also, too, I did, because Diane couldn't make it to Houston on Friday, I did meet with her and Tom. On Saturday, we had lunch. We had a great time. So thank you, Diane, for you and Tom for meeting up with me on Saturday. I appreciate that as well. Deborah says, do you put labels on all of your quilts? Yes, I do. I put labels even on my charity quilts. And when I do the charity quilts, I'll just, instead of putting my name on the back, I will just put Teaquilts so that they could go look up my site or something if they want me to make them another quilt or something like that, for hire or referring me to somebody else. But I do put a label on every quilt. And Diane says it was missing some vendors. Yes, it was. Even C&T Publishing wasn't there, and they were there last year. So I did miss C&T Publishing. But there were a lot of vendors missing, and it seems like the other ones had more space. They purchased more space. And maybe they gave them a discount because they didn't have as many vendors as they had in previous years. And so they may have got a discount or even got them for free maybe. So it didn't seem like it was as many vendors. It still took a long time to go down 25 aisles of vendors. But they did seem like it had more space in between, like you had more cut-throughs in the aisle than I've seen in past. Kelly Rowland is here. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. Vivian Calvi says hi, T. Cordelia Mawson is here. She says, hi, everyone from Florida. Cheryl Lynn says, hey, quilt family. June Hansen is here. She says, hi, Miss T and everyone. Tiffany says, did you hear or see T? I made it into the quilt show here, and I won 2 ribbons on 1 quilt. No, well, congratulations. That is awesome. Was it on the Lone Star quilt? We've got Judy Smith. She says, hello, T and everyone. I'm still getting, even though I have my phone on no volume, it was still coming through the phone anyway. Weird. So congratulations. That's a real good honor. And Diane says, good thing you didn't have the YouTube shirt on Saturday. I did. I wore one shirt on Friday. I wore the gray shirt on Friday and the white shirt on Saturday. I did have it on. You just missed it. Shirley Rayleigh is here. She says, hello to everyone from Rome, Georgia. Hi, Shirley. Welcome to live chat. My brother is here. He says hi to everyone. People are telling Tiffany congrats. Diane Roney is here. She says, good evening, everyone. Hi, Diane. Deborah Richards says, that's awesome, Tiffany. Diane says, we both enjoyed our lunch with you. And Tiffany says that it was the 10-foot by 10-foot Mariner Star quilt that she won the ribbons on. And congratulations again. You did an awesome job on quilting that one. I love it. Deborah Lovelace says, I just got here. I don't know what the subject is, but what is a reasonable price for service on Brother embroidery quilting machine? Most times when you take your machine in for embroidery, sometimes like every other time or so, I'll also take in my extension for my machine because it's the same price no matter what, and they'll order that as well. But in St. Louis area, I think it's going to be a price that's conducive to what it is in the area that you are in. In the St. Louis area, when you have a computerized sewing machine, your bill is going to be starting around $125 for a service. That's going to be a cleaning, lubrication if needed. Some machines don't need to be lubricated. And then if it has any problems, you're going to add on nominal fees for just the part. They hardly ever charge you for the labor on most things here. So it just depends on where you're located and what you're going to pay. But I'd say $125 to $150. Darlene Former says, congrats, Tiff. That's exciting. Elaine F says, that's awesome. And Diane says that Tom missed my play button too. We were too busy talking. And Tiffany is saying that there's I think I saw the video, but I didn't see. There's a quilt show video. Okay, because I saw the video where you were quilting it and then you were displaying how you quilted it. Okay. So, what else did I do in the week? I did go through and organize all of the churn dash blocks that I received from you all. So I have received 50 blocks from you all, and then I went through and kind of organized them by how many did I have in each size. So I'll just show you this sheet of paper. It's not anything fantastic. Just that I was trying to group them by size, so when I start playing in EQ, I'll kind of know how many blocks I have in each size. And then on the back of this paper, I added the blocks that were duplicates and or people had made for the backs. So I put that, I got all of that ready, so when I go to retreat on in February, I can start trying to work with this. So I'll start playing with EQ to figure out how I might want to lay these blocks out. That I did. I talked about the bag. Okay. The only other thing that I want to talk about is this organization that's called SoPowerful.org. And I am going to be opening this up in a second. But I stopped by their booth, and in Houston, they had a section that was kind of like charity section, or where they were selling tickets to various things. And then as I was walking up and down the aisles, and I can't remember which aisle I was in, but I'm just going to say it was at least around the 20th aisle, aisle 2000. I saw this organization there, and I had heard of them before, kind of fell into their website, but never did make the bag. And so at the show, they were selling, they had a printed copy of this pattern for the bag without a gusset, which was $10. And then they also had where you can get the entire kit already made up for you for another $10. I'm trying to find out where is the webbing for the strap. So then you can buy this for $10. And since it was all for charity, I thought that was a really good idea. And then as I sat down and started reading the information, one of the ladies, I had a card that I was reading, just this card here. So you can pause the screen as you watch this on the replay. And then I'm just going to put this here because I'm going to basically tell you about it. But as I was sitting there reading the card, one of the ladies walked up to me that was with So Powerful. Her name is Jan Cancilla. And she was explaining to me what this program was really all about. So in Africa, we have young ladies there that are not properly trained in hygiene when they turn into a woman. And so what happens is when their menstrual cycles start, they actually have to stay home for a whole week while they're on their menstrual cycle. So they're missing school. And think about if you're in the USA and every month you missed a week of school, what that would do to you as far as completing high school. So it does affect them getting their education in Africa. And so what they're asking from USA citizens or people around the world is to make these tote bags here. And this is another one. And what's really nice is that you can go to their website, www.sopowerful.org, and you can download the pattern. And there's two patterns on the website. One is for beginners where it does not have the gusset. And the other one is the pattern with the gusset on the side. And I don't have anything that's kind of showing the gusset because I got the pattern that's just the plain. So I'm going to do a video of me making this bag, but I am not going to give any of the cutting instructions on it. Because the pattern is available on their website for free. And when organizations put up patterns for free, I want them to get credit on people check your site hits. And so it can let them know if their website is being productive and getting new or people to their website. So I want you to go over there and download the pattern for yourself. It's very free. And you can also make this as a gift for someone, but I'm asking you, if you make it for a gift for someone, to please make another one that you can donate to this organization. And then they have an address on the back where you can actually mail this information to, this item number 3, where you can mail them. And then they batch them up quarterly or like 3 or 4 times a year. And then they send them in batches over to Africa. Now, what this does is it provides a couple of things. It provides the purse so that the young lady can put her menstrual supplies into the purse. But they don't have sanitary napkins or tampons like we have in the USA or other countries. So what they do is they make those pads that are made from fleece, and they don't want us to make those. What they do is they hire the kids' parents so that the women can have a job locally and not have to go far away from home, leaving her children to go find work so that she can feed them. So they have them make the sanitary napkin part, and then they give them 3 of them that they can then put into their purse and they can carry with them so that they can continue their education. So I thought that organization was pretty cool. I asked her, what type of fabrics does it have to be? Does it matter? She says, no, it doesn't. So I asked her even if you could recycle like denim. So I thought that was pretty cool. She says they actually prefer the bags to be a little heavier because of how they have to wash in Africa. They actually wash over in boiling pots so that the thicker fabrics actually hold up better to wash. And things like your home deck fabrics also will work very well. So you may want to do like some accent pieces of that, because if it gets too thick, then you know you're going to have to change your needle to a denim needle, size 16 or a size 18 needle. So I'm hoping that some of my Teaquilters might be willing to go to this organization and make a purse or 2. I'm going to make the one that I have here. And at the same time, well, this one I think has already been cut for me. They give me all my fabric, so they've got all the pieces already cut. And I'm glad they don't have the measurements on it, because I want you to go to their site and get it. And even the interfacing was in the kit, as well as the webbing. So this was all in the kit. with the card in the actual pattern here. But as I said, you know, we can use our own fabric scraps. So this is technically a free thing that you can do, and then they're giving you the pattern online. But for the book that I got, they've got full color instructions here in the book on, you know, that you could have gotten from the show. So that was my first time seeing them at a show. I don't know if I missed them in previous organizations, but yes. Somebody is asking for the link. It's down there in the blue. If you could type it into the chat box would be great, Diane. www.sopowerful.org. And I did tell them that I was going to, I asked her if I could do a video on it, and she says yes, just please don't give them the pattern information, but they would love the publicity that they could get for, you know, from me showing you this on my YouTube channel. So it was okay with them. And then I'm going to make this, and hopefully I can make another one as well. So I just wanted to share that organization with you. I don't know anything more about it, but I felt like they were doing a very good deed, especially when you're talking about educating women. And let me go back to chat and see what's in chat. People are saying, wow, you received 50 Churn Dash blocks. Yes, I did. You all are so generous. And I received more than 50 blocks. I received blocks from 50 different people. Because some of you all sent duplicates, 2 and 3 blocks. So, yes. I don't have a bag. All I have is the picture of the bag right here on the product information. So this pattern here is the bag without the gusset, and I think this bag has a gusset. It's just in the same fabric on the side. The gusset would be right here along this side. So yes, so I don't have one because I haven't made it, and I just got this from Houston, and I haven't had time to make the bag. And Shakita says, wow, 50 blocks. Will you make 2 quilts? No, this is going to be what I call the BAQ, the big ass quilt. So we're going to make a quilt that's going to be 96 inches high. And then I'm going to stretch it probably 96 times 2 or whatever that is. Because I want to take up 2 display areas when my quilt is shown. So that's what my plan is. So I'm going to be working on a layout, but I don't know for sure if that's going to work. So we shall see. Linda Price is here. She says, hello, everyone. Kelly Rowland says, I saw them in Paducah in April, and making one is now on my list, on my to-do list. Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate that. And I must have missed them in Houston, or maybe that's where I heard of the organization but didn't get the card or something. Or maybe I had the card and then it got... Because I do remember hearing of this organization before, but didn't do any follow through on it. So I'm really going to do it this time. And Bonita said, you think we can make one at the retreat? We can most definitely do that as well. I'll keep my book, and then you all download your patterns, and I'll put that into an email next year sometimes. But we can most definitely do that, because I was looking for another project that we could do on Saturday. So maybe this would be a great idea for people to do Saturday. Phyllis says, I have sewn bags for this group with a sewing center here. That's really awesome. Thank you so much, Phyllis. Deborah says, my sewing group at church sews the pads for the children's orphanage that we built in Mexico. That's awesome too. It doesn't matter where they go. But anytime young women are having difficulties in life, and it's something as simple as a purse and some sanitary pads that we can make from fabrics we already have in our home, I'm all for it. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, Diane. She put the link down in the chat box. So if you're looking for the link for the website, it's down there. Quilt Gal says, hi T from Maryland. Hi Quilt Gal, welcome. Deborah Bamlander, probably butchered your name, I'm so sorry. She says, I'm getting started next week on Dignity for Girls, a program for making pads and liners that are placed in bags. So thank you so much. That's another organization that's out there. And Phyllis says, I will post a photo of the bag on Facebook Teaquilts. Thank you so much, Phyllis. I appreciate that because that'll help promote them as well. Diane says, Deborah, would you share the link for the organization you are doing? Rhonda says, Rhonda Barlow is here. She says, hello, T and everyone from unseasonably warm Savannah. So thank you so much. And then while we're waiting on other comments to get into the chat box, how about my scrap club? We are making a quilt that's due at the end of this month. Well, it's due like the 23rd because we got an extra Saturday in November. And so I am wondering if you guys might want to do a sew along. If you might want to make this quilt, you can make it in any fabrics of your choice, and then maybe post a picture in Teaquilts or email me a picture in Teaquilts, and then I'll do like just a quick video show and tell of all the quilts that came in, because I think it's really neat to see quilts that are the same pattern done in different fabrics. So this is the quilt that we're making with my scrap quilting club here in St. Louis. We are having this due on November 23rd, and it is a free pattern from a blog. The blog is www.aquilterstable.com. So it's right down here. I'll put it here so you can see it. And they have this pattern up there for free. It's called Spiraled. It's what it's called. Right here is Spiraled. And this is the name of the blog. A Quilter's Table. It's a Quilter's Table. I thought it was stable. Okay. And the designer is Debbie Jesk. So yeah, so if you want to do a sew along, want to participate, go ahead and do that. Thank you, Diane. I see you got it. Appreciate you. So this is what we're working on. And today I just started cutting some half square triangles and some squares. On the pattern, they're using 2-inch finish squares and 2-inch finish half square triangles. And I just decided that I was just going to take any one of my AccuQuilt dies and just cut. And I'm going to make mine's 1.5-inch finish. So I cut some squares and some half square triangles. I don't even have all the pieces cut out, but I just thought I better get started sewing or I'm going to show up at the meeting as the coordinator with nothing. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And again, the pattern is called Spiraled. And other than that, I don't think I have anything else that I can share. So if you are a new quilter or been quilting for many years and have a question, I'd be more than happy to answer it. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. It helps keep me in YouTube suggested. Spiraled with an ED, Diane. It keeps me in their suggested video links. And I haven't even, let me see if I can see how many subscribers I have. I have 10,300 subscribers. So thank you all so much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Bonita, because I totally forgot to talk about retreat. And she says, oh, we booked to capacity for the retreat. We are not booked to capacity for the actual retreat. That room, we have had 36 quilters in that room. What my capacity is for my own personal liking would be 20. But we only have space for 18 to sleep 18 people. So currently, I am booked as far as what the facility has in beds that they can give. Other organizations have their meetings and groups there. So I'm sure when we come in on Tuesday, we may be the only groups there, but other groups start coming in on Thursday and Friday. And so they've got to have beds for those people. So I don't have any beds. I do have 18 people that are confirmed. 17 of them have paid their first payment with the head count fee. So that $125 has been paid by 17 people. The only reason why the 18th person isn't paid is because she came off of the wait list. And so she's in the process of mailing her payment. So when I receive it, it will be 18 people. I still have one person that's on a wait list. And what I'm doing is I am accepting payments for a wait list. And I'm going to go ahead and deposit those. And then if I can't get you into retreat, then I'll refund all of your money. But what normally happens when people book rooms at facilities, they have like 30 days prior to the event to cancel any rooms that they don't have. So you can cancel a certain percentage and not be charged for it. So I'm hoping that one or two of the other organizations that have rooms for that same week that we're there, that they may release some rooms a month prior to, and then we can have a few more people come to retreat. So that's my hope. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. Right now, all I have is the 18 beds that I was promised. And next year, I might think about opening up. I'm not even concerned with this right now because I'll have to go back and get more prices, and I don't feel like doing that right now. But next year, I might consider if there's some St. Louis area people that want to come, or St. Louis metro people, or people traveling from afar that don't mind staying somewhere else and then commuting to retreat every day. I'll see if we can open up a few spots for that. But otherwise, retreat is currently on a wait list. I am so proud. I'm so glad because last time I only had 2 people that I didn't know come to the retreat. I had Claudette from Anaheim, California, and Jennifer Nuzard from, I forgot what part of Alabama, but she's from Alabama. Those were the only 2 people that I didn't know. And then I had some quilting friends that used to live in St. Louis that moved to Ohio, and 2 of those ladies came down and came to retreat. So I appreciate the response to people wanting to come to this year, or rather next year's retreat. So I am really glad, and now I can really start planning and start looking into what we're going to actually do at retreat. So let's see, that was Benita's question. And Diane is also saying please like and share. If you're new, please subscribe. Thank you, Diane. Wind Sprinter says, are you familiar with the tile quilting? I recently saw a beautiful tile quilt in progress at one of my local quilt shops. It depicted Santa's in his workshop near a window with an outdoor snow scene. Yes, I am familiar with the tile quilts. I have done a lot of them from Anita Good Designs, in machine embroidery designs, as well as there's a company that's called BFC. I think it's called BFC Creations. They're an online company that sells designs that are very well digitized. So I have made tile quilts from both companies, and I even made one from Dakota Collectibles. I made a fall scene one from Dakota Collectibles. I've made the Statue of Liberty from, it's called Windows of USA from BFC. And then on Anita Good Design, it's so many of them that it's ridiculous. I've done the Halloween one, Happy Halloween. They have a Christmas scene, pumpkins. They got an autumn scene, like it's called like a bridge, something with a bridge is in it. Autumn bridge maybe. But I can't remember, but I've done so many tile quilts. I actually love them. It does take a long time to do them. It takes about an hour to stitch out each of those little quartered section because it's a lot of thread and a lot of thread changes. About with Anita Good Design, you can have 30 to 40 thread changes in a 8-inch block, or whatever size block you decide to do it in, because most of them go from 4 to 8 inches. But yes, I actually love them. Kelly is asking, when is retreat? Retreat is June 16 through 21, 2020. It's a Tuesday through Sunday. It is a 5-night retreat. And Tiffany is telling Diane that she's on top of it tonight. Yes, indeed. Diane is an awesome resource. I appreciate Diane. Thank you so much. Deborah Richards says, I would be interested in a retreat where you can stay off grounds because we have an RV that we travel in. And Deborah, you would have to look and see where the RV park is in conjunction to the retreat address. So if you are wanting to consider that, I don't know the price right now, as I said, because I'm not going to deal with that until next year, since I actually have a full house, but I am willing to look into that. But I'm not going to do that until next year, because I don't want to bug these people, because it took us a long time to get these prices, and so I'm just trying to give them some space. I just signed the contract this week and put it into the mail, so we're all set on my end, and I just want to take a break from scheduling anything for a retreat. So but email me at teaquilts@teaquilts.com, and then I will give you the address to the place so that you can see where there's an RV facility that you can stay at. And Wind Sprinter is saying, thanks for the tile quilting references. Really appreciate it. And yes. So if you got any more questions, go ahead and pop them into the box. It seems like we went through quite a few subject areas really fast today. I'm up here looking at the time. We've been on only 42 minutes almost. So if you got any other questions, go ahead and pop them into the box. Otherwise, I have nothing else to add other than I had a great time in Houston. I traveled with Kevin the Quilter, which I have done a studio tour. And if you haven't seen my quilt studios on tour video, please go search for that. I have a whole playlist for those. And then I also went with another quilter. Her name is Ann McNew. Ann is was the coordinator. She just retired from all things quilting right now. But she just started, she has a YouTube channel, doesn't have a whole lot of subscribers. Her name is Ann, A-N-N. Last name is McNew, M-C-N-E-W. And she just uploaded like 3 or 4 videos where she's quilting a cross. And she's showing you how she made a spine in the cross, and she's throwing feathers on the outside of the cross. So I've watched the first 2 videos, and now I gotta watch. I think she uploaded one more today where she is, she was saying in the previous video she was gonna put pebbles in the middle, so I haven't seen that one yet. So if you want to see a professional longworm quilter that taught at the national shows, she's doing very basic, slow paced, no sped up quilting. You might want to see how she makes very, very tiny feathers, and she stitches slow. So sometimes we think we've got to stitch super fast, and she's showing you that she's one of those quilters that when it's really tiny that she slows down her quilting. So if you would like, go over there and subscribe to Ann's channel if you will. Would really appreciate it. And Deborah is telling Diane that there is no link. This is a sewing group named the Velveteen Rabbits that meet and sew different items to send to orphanage. So it's just something that they do for an orphanage as from their group. Eileen F says, what are the rules for putting on directional borders? If I'm going to put on a directional border, first of all, when I do borders, let me just clarify, because a lot of people don't do this. When I put borders on the quilt, I always cut along the selvage, so I'm cutting lengthwise. So I tend to buy enough fabric so I don't have to piece it. But there are times when I don't have a lot of fabric and I will piece. I'll cut lengthwise strips, not widthwise, lengthwise. and then I would add them, sew them together. And the reason why I like lengthwise borders on the outside is because it's more stable than your widthwise, and it won't stretch out as much. So that's one thing that I do when I put borders on the quilt, if they're not scrappy borders. Now I'm looking for a pen, because y'all know that I can't draw worth squat, but I try for you all. So this is retreat stuff. Don't really want to draw on this. I can draw on this one. This is an old retreat list. It's been updated. Right on the back. So okay. So inside here is my quilt top, and then out here are going to be my borders. Now, one of the things that I also do, and a lot of people do different, if the longest way that my quilt goes, hold on, this pen is not cooperating. I'm going to start over. Start over. I got a Sharpie marker now. Okay. So I'm just going to start over so I can show you the diagram. So I've got my quilt in the middle, and this is my borders, but I don't have any seams out here. Another thing that I do when I put borders on quilts is I always put them on the lengthwise, the longest part of my quilt first. So that means that I'm putting on my side borders first instead of top and bottom. The reason why I do that, if I'm cutting lengthwise fabric, most times I will add up what the size of my length is, and then I'll add that width twice to make sure that I can get my top and bottom off of that same width of fabric. So most times I don't even have to piece the top and bottom if I cut this length long enough in the first place. So I go ahead and cut this first instead of using this measurement across the top, which would actually be in here if I put it on top and bottom first. So I go ahead and put my borders on the sides first, and then my top and bottoms. Now if I got a directional fabric, and say it has, I'm just making arrows here just to show you that it's directional. Show you in just a second. So if I'm cutting directional fabric, I'm going to make sure that whatever I have pointing in this direction points in that direction all the way around. I don't want to take it and then reverse it on this side and have this arrow going over to that side. You want to be continuous with it. And then sometimes it depends on the type of border fabric that you have. It might look better if you did a mitered border. So if you're doing a mitered border, you wouldn't have this seam here. You'll be actually sewing up to this point, and then you'll stop 1/4 of an inch from the corner. You'll do the same thing on the top piece, stop 1/4 inch from the corner, and then you'll sew this diagonal seam together. And I will have to probably do a video on a mitered seam, because some of you probably are not going to get it just from my rough drawings. But mitered borders are tedious to do if you don't know what you're doing. And so they can be very complicated, and they can stretch, and your corner starts getting all pointed and start curving away from center. So you do have to be careful if you are working with a mitered corner. But they're not difficult. You just need to know how to do it. So let me make sure, check any comments here. Phyllis says that she just looked up Ann, and that cross is amazing. Yes, it is. Ann is a professional long arm quilter, and she has been sharing her knowledge and skills with us in the St. Louis area for free. She even lives in a county far away from St. Louis, and she travels like 40 minutes, 45 minutes to come share with us depending on where we meet. You know, she has traveled up to an hour, 15 minutes to meet with us just to share her information with us for free. And Tiffany says she do miters often. Diane says you cut 45-degree. Yes, you do. But you got to make sure that it's cut so that it's at the right measurement so that it fits on your quilt top. So you've got to do real good measurement of your quilt top and then know what that size is. And then you've got to make sure you covering your side borders, you know, the other sides where they meet up in the corner. You still need extra fabric for that. That's the other thing. Miter borders take extra fabric. So it's a technique. And it is easy once you learn it. I don't need to use it all the time. But sometimes if you're using like a border print and you want them all to be kind of like stack and whackish or kaleidoscopish, where you have the same print meeting up in the corners, then miter corners are the way to go. And I'm hoping I haven't missed anybody's comments up here earlier. Shakita says, I don't like putting on borders. Yeah, because a border can, if you don't measure your top or know that you're sewing accurate 1/4-inch seams, then yeah, your border can make your quilt wavy if you're not doing it correctly. So it is important how you put a border on and make sure that that border is the correct size. And Diane is saying, you're correct. I leave tails in each corner. Yes, and I end up just trimming off. I'd rather have it too big and, you know, have too much fabric and trim off a little bit than to be short. Because if you're short on a miter border, it's not a good thing. So, okay, guys, I don't have anything else to add. Any other questions about quilt making anybody have? And while Shakita is here, and she's just down here in the comments, what I forgot to tell you, but it's in my video, is that Shakita had a quilt that was in the Guyleen Fitzgerald's Pineapple Quilts #2. It's her second time. It's the 10-year anniversary of the Pineapple Quilts with the book and the ruler that Guyleen Fitzgerald sells. And she had a quilt in that exhibit. Very nice. I didn't get a picture with Shakita over there. I see she had some on her Facebook page and her Instagram page. But I did make sure that I got Shakita's quilt. I actually videotaped that entire display. It was really nice. And Deborah Richards says, my solution is I don't do directional borders. You just have to make sure that you got that fabric turned correct when you're starting to put it on the quilt. So, and Diane says, way to go, Shakita. That's really nice. I haven't entered a show in so long. I'm almost thinking maybe I should be trying to enter something into a show, but I have to think of something, and it would be a while, because if you're entering something into a show, it's like you've got to, and not in a display or an exhibit, but I'm entering into the actual show. You've got to be juried into the show. So yeah, it takes a lot of work, and everything's got to be right. Like your binding's got to be the same size on the front and the back. So there are different things that come into play when you're putting a quilt into a show. And Shakita says, thank you. You're more than welcome. And she's also talking to Diane, I know. I got to spend some time with Shakita. We've been following each other on Facebook for a while. And so it was just nice to spend some time at the show with her. We hung out for a little bit. And I even sent her on a scavenger hunt to get a free cup. But it was really nice. And it's good to meet some of the people that are Shakita is also planning on coming to retreat. And so it's just nice to meet some of the people that are planning to come to retreat. Also, I sent out another retreat email today, just confirming that I received everybody's payments and that they're in on the retreat. Just an FYI, I forgot to mention that earlier, just trying to get all this information out. And that's kind of it for me. So yeah, I don't have anything else to add. We only got like another 5 minutes. So do we want to end early, or do we have anybody else with more questions? Vivian says, how did you like the nightcap on the retreat on your trip? I actually wore that nightcap The 2 weeks ago Wednesday, I started wearing that cap. I love that cap, and I didn't even have to do any adjustments because you don't want it really tight, and it was enough that it just stayed on my head as I sleep. You don't want it super tight so that it breaks your hair, but you don't want it loose that it comes off when you go to sleep. So Vivian, you did a perfect job on that cap. It was really wonderful. And if you all don't know what cap I'm talking about, go back and watch live chat from 2 weeks ago, because we didn't have live chat last week, and you can see the cap that Vivian made me as a gift. It was really nice, and I love it. And Diane is telling Shakita that she will watch what I recorded. And I might just skip videos because I've got some other quilt shows that I did earlier this year that I haven't had a chance to upload, because you all know I'm still behind in uploading. I think I'm in August uploading videos, and I can't remember if I recorded anything in September, October. I can't even remember because I was so far behind. But what I think I'm going to do is skip ahead and go ahead and get that Houston video. It would be the next one that I upload, the quilt show for Houston. And then I also have a haul video of the things I got from Houston. And that haul video is going to cause me to do a couple of product review videos, because I found a couple of things that I was really interested in. And this sewing bag is one of them. That's why I went ahead and made my chat this tonight. So you'll be seeing that I have it in my haul video as well. My brother is saying good night, everyone. And sis, I love you. Love you too. See you next time. And just making sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah. I'm going to try to get those up. I'll start working on getting the video onto my hard drive so that I can start editing that. Maybe I'll start doing that tomorrow. I've been busy since I've been back. I actually wanted to do some sewing, so I made that bag that I told you all about right here that I got to put my pen back on. So I made that bag Tuesday night, and then Monday during the day, Tuesday, I've been working all on retreat stuff, trying to get the list updated from the people that were on the wait list. I had originally like maybe 5 people on the wait list, but I didn't receive any payment, or I didn't receive any notifications from them. So I start moving people up that had been communicating with me. So I got I've been doing I had a lot of people. It's always when I'm my busiest that I get a lot of email requests. And so a lot of the quilt guilds have changed over presidents in our area. We tend to do it in the fall. And so I had a lot of people contacting me for bookings for next year. So it's a lot going on. I'm not going to announce my major booking for next year, but because I want them to put it up on their website first before I announce it over here on my channel. But I have like maybe 5 things booked already for next year. So we're working with our local guilds here. Also, if you have a quilt guild in your area and they're willing to pay for me to come to your quilt guild, I'd be more than happy to do that as well. So please refer me to your quilt guild. I'll be more than happy to come do any of my lectures. I can send them my pricing info, your VP or program chair pricing info. I can send them a brochure of my classes or my lectures that I teach. So please refer me if you want me to come to your area. Diane says, do those nightcaps work on white women hair? And Vivian says, yes, Diane. And the reason why it works is because it's a satin inside. And for us, it helps us to keep the oil in, but it actually helps retain our hairstyle as well. Thank you, Tiffany. Tiffany says, I told mine about you this weekend. Because it depends on where it's at. If it's somewhere in Atlanta, I have a friend in Atlanta, so your quilt guild wouldn't even have to pay for my hotel. I have a place that I can stay, but they'll just be paying for me to drive to Atlanta and then my lecture costs, but you won't have to add on the hotel cost. So some areas, if I have family or friends, I can make it cheaper. I don't have family and friends everywhere, but I have family and friends in Detroit. So, where else? I got a family member in North Carolina. I don't know if I can stay with these people yet. I know I can stay with the one in Atlanta and Michigan. I'm not sure about North Carolina, but I'm sure it'll work out. And but you know, there are some things that can be agreed upon depending on what area I'm going to. And Tiffany says she's in Arizona. I have a friend that's in Phoenix. How far are you from Phoenix? She's actually building a house in Phoenix right now, and it should be done in the next month or two. And Diane says, great, I need to protect my hair. It tangles easily. Yes, and it keeps you from getting that bed hair when you put your hair in a cap as compared to on a pillow. And Shakita says, my cap never stays on. Wake up, it's on the floor or in the bed. Mine's that cap that Vivian made me. She had the elastic set just right. And I didn't even have to adjust it. And it stays on. It stayed on every night. So, Tiffany says, but it's beautiful here now and you can hang with me if they call you. Okay, that'll be awesome. See, I don't have to, I just want to stay in an okay place. I don't have to stay in 5-star hotel. You know, I'm real flexible with that. Tiffany says Phoenix is 3.5 hours. So that would be a little bit of a problem, 3.5 hours. But depending, what is your gill, a day gill or a night gill, Tiffany? And Linda says, Tiffany, that would be awesome. Then you and T can do a live for us. That would be funny. We're both going live at the same time. That's nice. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go. I have officially done my 1 hour. I think we're over a couple minutes. But thank you all so much. And again, I am going to work on Houston videos tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to be a live tomorrow, but I will start working on them tomorrow because it takes a long time for videos that have a lot of time in them. It takes a long time for them to produce, and it takes a long time for them to upload to YouTube. So, and Diane said I would be split in two. Okay, then we'll just separate it. We'll do 2 lives. Kim says, late start. I am jealous of the warm weather. Chatter's freezing in Wisconsin. Oh my goodness. We had a nice day today. It was 50 degrees with sunshine though, and it felt a whole lot warmer. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and say goodnight to everybody. See you all next time, and you all stay blessed. Until then.